did a video here on our channel asking what are the quote-unquote best franchises. And it's funny because we had some negative feedback from people who just didn't get it, that there's no such thing as a best franchise. Best is a very subjective term. And I'll give you an example. If you ask me right now, hey, Robert, what's the best car out there? And I suggested, hey, what about Lamborghini? Some people would say, oh, that thing sucks so much gas, that's a horrible car. Other people would say, you know what, I've got 4 kids. Lamborghini is a terrible, terrible choice, right? It's the same with franchising. Not every location suits every budget, suits every background, and suits every situation for every person. So I understand some people were unhappy though, and I thought about it, and there is one definitive topic that I can cover, and that's going to tell you something specifically, and that is how much franchises make, and some of them that are best franchises for that. So let's start off with the single highest grossing franchise that I've ever encountered in my career. It was a sign franchise. So this is a franchise that designs, creates, and installs those signs that you see in every city on every business. This business was generating $30 million a year from a single location. And that number is far and away the single largest number I've ever seen a single unit doing. But is the sign industry so great, you'll ask? And yeah, it is pretty good. And specifically, business to business or B2B focused franchises are quite good. And they're a sector that most people are not even aware of. But let's take a look at why these B2B franchises are potentially so profitable. When it comes down to the B2B model, the owner has the ability to directly influence the earnings of the business. And for sake of comparison, let's take a look at traditional McDonald's franchise model and how they operate. First, you set up a location, you send out some flyers and some coupons, and you hope for the best. And there's really not a whole lot that the owner can do in order to affect the profits of their franchise. Sure, they can go out, shake hands, make friends in the community, do some local good stuff, and most owners do. But that generally doesn't have a huge impact in a restaurant situation like your McDonald's, unless there's catering, but that's B2B and that's a different story. But when you own a franchise that provides services to businesses, you can have a huge impact on the revenues of your store. And here's where we once again see that actually not all franchises are great for everyone. But someone who does have a sales or marketing or networking background can do phenomenally well by coordinating a sales crew, or in a smaller franchise type of situation, going out and building this local book of business themselves. And that sales function is oftentimes something that people don't like to do. But the reality is that the most profitable franchises are often businesses where the owner is able to work and work diligently on new business generation. And for some potential owners, that's not something they want to do. They want to take it easy, stand behind a counter, take the money, and that's the peak of their initiative, and that's fine. Other people, though, they say, I want to make maximum money, and I don't care what I have to do to get there. If I have to sell, if I have to coordinate sales teams, show me the money. Now, in cases where money is the priority, there's a lot of these business-to-business franchises available that allow for this direct influence over the amount of money that comes in. And there's a proportionate link to how hard you work to how much higher the revenues can get. So let's take a look at some real-world examples of good, decent B2B businesses. Now, as we just discussed, sign shops are always great, always in demand. Printing, it's another decent business at pretty decent profits. A lot of these companies are also getting into the specialty areas like car wraps and other niche markets like that, wide format printing. These investments are typically about $200,000 to $500,000 to get in, depending, and there's several of them available. You can feel free to give us a call or go through our directory and take a look and see which are available in your territory. Now, another one is staffing and employment franchises. These are very, very big money makers. And these are often low overhead businesses as well. You don't have a ton of space. You're in an office or even a home office in some cases. So your margins and your profits are also quite good. Now, Express Employment, average owners there, average that are there for a year, are over 1 million. And a mature office, just an average office in Express personnel, does $6.2 million a year. There's a lot of other employment franchises that are available. Again, check out our directory or give us a call if you'd like to take a look. Your investment for an employment franchise typically is in about the $80,000 to $200,000 range. Now, if you have a business background, you've got business consulting or coaching franchises, that can be very profitable and from a return on investment perspective, very appealing. A lot of these franchises have low startups that are under $50,000. You can operate these from home. Again, they've got very low overhead, high margins, 6 figures typically is expected for most of them, and some of them into the 7 figures, so you're earning over $1 million for some of the top performers. We also have specialty consulting, like cost reduction, where you're going in and helping companies save money on telecom or other billing costs, or energy consulting, where you can help companies save money on their energy costs. And these are all consulting, cash type businesses, so there's really no inventory that you're fooling around with. And again, the margins can be very, very good. Now, if you have access to a lot of cash, there are actually franchises that help you to become a short-term lender to businesses and will match your loan up to 6 times. So you're earning revenue essentially like a bank with short-term business loans, but generating a lot more interest. This is mostly a passive type of franchise, and it can be quite lucrative once you've built up a steady book of business within the business community. So there you have it, just some highly profitable business-to-business franchise ideas. These are typically some of the highest earners out there that allow the owner to directly impact the amount of earnings by proactively targeting their business within their local area. So if money is important and you have those skills, B2B or business-to-business franchises can be the most profitable choice. Don't forget to like and subscribe here on our channel, and come visit our new franchise directory at franchise.city. You can browse hundreds of franchises. I'll put the link up here. If you have any questions on those, you can fill out the form or give us a call. Thanks for watching.